Hey guys, today I want to talk with you about Combat Rogue Glyph Choice for Ulduar. It's a nice topic because a lot of varieties going on. You have different options. You know, we have the expose armor topic, so definitely some options are out there. And today I want to talk with you what are usually my choices. So let's quick hop on the topic. I will show you first of all here super quick these are my logs for 25 man. A decent 95, especially only a 95 because of my bad Algolon logs. We only killed it 3 times so far, but okay. Here are the 10 man parses, much better here in that case, because I don't have to, also a topic because I don't have to expose in the 10 man raid. But overall, I just want to make clear I'm not the best rogue in the world, also not the second best, and pretty surely also not the third best, but I definitely know what I'm doing here, and yeah, that's why I want to go today over the glyphs with you, because also for me, very interesting topic. I think about it a lot and I try to improve that, yeah, I would say kind of week by week at the moment. So first of all, let us talk about the expose armor topic. Yes, if you have to expose armor, then my pretty clear recommendation to you is always take the expose armor glyph. Yes, there are some fights where expose armor is a little bit weird to use, like for example Mimiron, think about phase 3 and the final phase with the 3 bodies, and phase 3 with Mimiron up and you only have the assault bots. Think about Yoxaron. Yes, okay, definitely the brain, but later on Yoxaron also important to keep it up. But maybe you could think here about, can I manage this with only without expose armor? Hard, but maybe later on in the phase when the timer's getting shorter and shorter, maybe possible, but the additional 12 seconds for expose armor, just crazy. Also Ariaya and Kologan are maybe a topic where you could think about something that I'm mentioning here. Without the expose armor glyph, 5 combo points. Expose armor is only 30 seconds, so hard at the moment. Definitely my clear recommendation. If you have to expose armor, always use this glyph. Now I want to go with you boss by boss, just quick over it. I want to make a few comments, but I want to keep the video 10 minutes or less, so I try to make it a little bit more fast. If you have some certain questions, just put them in the video description and in the comment section, sorry. Okay, razor scale, expose armor, sure, if you have to. Then the second one would be for me Rupture, and the third one Adrenaline Rush. Killing Spree makes no sense because of the kill time of the boss. You anyways could use it only once. Besides, maybe you have to play 2 phases, but if you have to play 2 phases, 2 flying phases, then anyways you cannot have good parses, so maybe then you don't care anyways, and also you don't watch this video. If you don't have to expose, then I think I would choose as the third option. In that case I mark it here as 4th, Feint. Ignis, again expose armor, I would choose Rupture and Killing Spree. Killing Spree because you can use it then more than once, and I think Rupture gives me a little bit more than Adrenaline Rush. Why? Because if you have to expose armor, then it's awesome. It helps you a lot, the Rupture glyph, to have the uptime on expose armor, Rupture and Slice and Dice more lined up, because Rupture 4 seconds more, expose armor 12 seconds more. So usually I have to say I only use 1 or 2 combo points in Slice and Dice and expose armor, and I use 4 or 5 combo points into Rupture, and then the next one would be Adrenaline Rush. If you don't have to use expose armor, definitely also use Adrenaline Rush, and also otherwise you could argue Rupture or Adrenaline Rush. It's a little bit tricky. The quick math behind it is hard to do. It's also depending on your trinkets that you maybe have, if they are very strong. On the kill time, as faster the kill time is, as better is Adrenaline Rush, just to make that clear. So I mean, pretty easy to explain. If you have 3-minute fight, then 5 seconds are much less worth than if you have a 2-minute fight, then 5 seconds are much more worth in the case of Adrenaline Rush. So that's why I have here these options, and you can choose it at the end for yourself. Because it's not maybe always 100% right, because definitely it's gear depending. Also the fourth piece make Rupture definitely better, so you have a little bit more value in Rupture with 4 piece. Overall the set boni are not very good, but 20% more damage on Rupture means Rupture has a little bit more importance. And like I said, with exposed armor, if you have to do it, I think it's much more easy to line up Rupture if you have the exposed armor, if you have the Rupture Glyph. If you don't have to expose armor, maybe Rupture is also good to handle without. But let's continue. XT2, exposed armor again, sure. And then Rupture Feint is a little bit hard to say. Killing Spree definitely, because you have a lot the fight is going a lot of time, so you have to use Killing Spree. Think a little bit about that you don't use it in a bad moment with the sparks. And then Adrenaline Rush, because you can use it twice, or also Feint. I would definitely say Rupture or Feint should be here your choice. I think I would prefer Rupture. I would trust my healers, or I would Feint and take the 20 energy for the 4, 5 tantrums, whatever are happening. Iron Council, exposed armor again, sure. Why I repeat it every time is just your choice if you have to expose. And then Rupture, Adrenaline Rush, and Feint. Killing Spree is here very strange to use, so I would not recommend it, even if you could use it twice at the start and at the end. So I would definitely not recommend you that. Adrenaline Rush is helping also very much on the last phase, lined up with Bloodlust if you go for the hard mode. And yeah, Rupture or Wall, again, there's I guess no real explanation needed why I like Rupture in that case very much. Hologarn, crazy boss fight. You would go for Fan of Knives and Adrenaline Rush just to get as much AoE damage out as possible. And then as the number 4, you would use Blade Flurry for a little bit initial better energy, because it saves you 25 energy. Or you would go for the Slice and Dice Glyph just to have Slice and Dice a little bit more up when you get it up, because definitely you should get Slice and Dice up and then use Blade Flurry and then go in the Fan of Knives rotation with Adrenaline Rush and Bloodlust lined up. That's it. Exactly the same for Ariaya, so 2 very similar boss fights. Ariaya, you know, if you played with the reset, then you have a very good chance to make here very nice parses as combat rogue. And that's, so we're coming to Thorim. Thorim, another short fight. Killing Spree, only use it if you are fine with the Chain Lightning, so I think my choice would be Rupture and Adrenaline Rush, because also the fight is kind of short. Let me see. Thorim, 25 man, Thorim. We need 220. That means you definitely could use 2 times Killing Spree if you don't. If you have the Glyph running, but you could also use it 2 times. Yeah, so this is very depending on the on the kill time of your guild, I would say here. And also, like I said, don't use Killing Spree in a bad moment. So Feint is maybe here the more easy option. Rupture and Adrenaline Rush, I would definitely Adrenaline Rush, because it's overall a short fight with around 2 minutes. And yeah, Rupture, I explained it already long enough, I would say. You could also argue about Feint for Rupture, Killing Spree, taking it, if you, like I said, if you can use it more than 2 times, then it's definitely worth it. In our case, the fight takes 220, so if I directly use Killing Spree when the boss fight starts, and that's usually what I do in the first 3-4 seconds, then I can use it exactly at the end of the fight again, even without the Glyph. But if you have a little bit lower than 2 minutes, then definitely go for the Killing Spree Glyph here, because it gives you a lot of damage here as well. Freya is In 10 man, you often kill her directly without playing any ad phase, I would say. So it's depending on your tactic. I want to here focus a little bit more on 25. So on 25, I would definitely recommend you Fan of Knives because of the super small ads, and also on the 3 ad phase is Fan of Knives awesome. Adrenaline Rush because you definitely could use it 2 times in this fight. And then yeah, I don't like Killing Spree so much on Freya because if the 3 is coming, then you also switch between 3 and Freya, so I would not really recommend you here Killing Spree. I would recommend you as the third option if you don't have to expose armor. I would recommend you Rupture or Feint in that case. I would say, yeah, because Rupture makes no sense with the 3 targets, makes no sense with the little targets, so only on the 3 on the end fight, that is only Freya. Feint can overall help, you know, always reduces your damage, gives you a chance to proc your poisons and chance. Mimiron, kind of the same, Fan of Knives because of the last phase, it's just crazy what you can do. And also on the third phase, when there are a lot of bots stacked up, definitely Fan of Knives here can make a lot of damage. Adrenaline Rush because you can use it minimum 2 times a fight. And then, yeah, hard to say the next one, Rupture, Feint, Killing Spree. I would say everything could be fine. Rupture, you know how I like it. Feint, especially if you have a little bit problem with receiving damage through fire, and maybe if you try to make it with less healers, the fight. I think at the start it was like 5 or 6 healers. Now we are on 4 or 3 healers, 4 healers I think for Mimiron, if I'm not wrong. So maybe then Feint can help here. Killing Spree can be good, but also Killing Spree rune, you have to know it's only lowering the cooldown. So can you really use it more than once in each phase without the Glyph? I think the answer is no. So that's it. General Rupture, Killing Spree, fight goes very long, you can use a lot of Killing Spree. Adrenaline Rush don't has that benefit because the fight is so long, but also Adrenaline Rush helps for, in the other case, for when the, how's it called, the Animus thing is spawning, and then it can also help. So if you don't have to expose, then Rupture, Killing Spree and Adrenaline Rush. If you have to expose, then I think I would, yeah, don't use Adrenaline Rush. I would just use Killing Spree and Rupture together with the exposed armor. But also on the other side, Killing Spree, you know, is a little bit weird when the Animus is there, but till you arrive in to that moment is how many minutes? As a 550 fight. So yeah, I think definitely I would recommend you hit the Killing Spree rune. But on the Killing Spree rune, you can always make the math by yourself, to be honest. It's 2 minutes without the Glyph. It's 1 minute 15 with the Glyph. Is the Glyph giving you a real benefit of using it more than once? And is Killing Spree even usable? Like for example on Kologan it's not usable, or does the Killing Spree Glyph makes even sense? For example, Ariaya makes no sense. Sure, it's also fight. Iron Council, you know how tricky it is to make your only damage on the target that is necessary. Yok, I would recommend you Fan of Knives, especially on Yok 0. A lot of ads around, makes a lot of fun. Adrenaline Rush, because you can definitely use it 2 times. I use it usually at the start, and I use it, and you can use it even 3 times. I use it directly at the beginning, first mob that spawns. I use it on the first brain, and then I use it again lined up with the Bloodlust that we are using. I think is that correct? Fight goes. Yeah, definitely you can use it even 3 times. So Adrenaline Rush here, big benefit, because 3 times means 15 seconds more in total Adrenaline Rush. And when you think about it, how benefit it is, do I have the rune here? Ah yeah, it's 15 seconds is without the glyph, so you have another adrenaline rush on top if you use it 3 times in this fight. Feint, especially in the beginning, you use a lot of feint to reduce the damage on the mobs, so that can help you a lot to get here good parsers when you always stay. If not, you have to sacrifice 20 energy, which is definitely also fine. I don't use feint here because I use Fan of Knives Adrenaline Rush because I have to expose. Killing Spree, no, it's on Yogg super strange Killing Spree. I don't know why this is programmed like this. It lowers your damage a lot, so definitely don't use it later on against Yogg. Killing Spree, and also before the fights, you can use it definitely every time in the brain room. You can definitely use it every time the first engage on when the fight starts, so there's no other benefit in using Killing Spree. So I would say Feint here is then the choice. And Algolon, pretty easy fight. It's very, very long. You can use 2 times Adrenaline Rush, that's why I usually would go for it if I don't have to expose. And then Rupture and Killing Spree should be definitely fine. You can use Adrenaline Rush instead of Rupture if you are willing to, if you say that you have more benefit in this instead of Rupture. Like I said, the Rupture thing is a little bit maybe also personal flavor. I like the 4 seconds more. Why? Because it helps me to have a lot of uptime on Rupture, because with the 4 seconds more, very easy to line it up with Expose Armor and Slice and Dice. That's it. 16 minutes, a little bit longer than I thought, but maybe you can skip to the bosses that are interesting for you, but you can also here see the complete list, so maybe you don't even need to watch the video in total, but for sure I hope you do it. Like and subscribe if you like what you see here. Like I said, comments, critic, suggestions, never a problem with it. I always try to learn. Like I said, always also visit, give a view to Simonize. He's also talking about stuff like this. I'm not sure if he had exactly a video like this, but he has a lot of other information. That's it for today, guys. See you. Bye bye.